Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you a very traditional British classic recipe of steamed pudding. And steamed pudding is usually a warm sponge cake that is served with vanilla custard. But because I'm using chocolate in my cake today, I'm gonna serve it with a homemade cherry sauce. You will need 9 tablespoons of softened butter, 2 large eggs, half a cup of white sugar, 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour, 6 to 8 tablespoons of milk, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're also gonna need something that's called a pudding bowl, but if you guys don't have this very interesting piece of equipment, you can just use a metal bowl and cover it with a foil when the pudding is steamed. In a large mixing bowl, add your softened butter, and with a hand mixer, we're gonna slightly cream it. And then we're gonna add our sugar. Mix it together until a smooth consistency. And here, because I'm using a hand mixer, I'm gonna show you a one-hand action of dropping the egg in the batter. If you guys not experienced enough, I wouldn't try it because you're gonna get all the eggshells in your batter. But we're gonna put 2 eggs and then cream it together. Then add 1 teaspoon of baking powder in your self-rising flour, mix it slightly, and gradually we're gonna add this flour to our batter. And we're gonna start mixing it until very smooth consistency. Then you can add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. The recipe doesn't call for any vanilla, which makes sense because it's usually served with vanilla custard. But since I'm using a cherry sauce for my pudding today, I've decided I wanted to add the vanilla. And then we're gonna separate this dough into 2 halves, and we're gonna leave one white and color the other one with the cocoa powder. And now this is important part. We're gonna start adding milk by teaspoon to our batter. It has to be the right consistency. It has to sort of drop off your spatula like in the little blobs. So I'll show you what it's supposed to look like this, and it's supposed to be very glossy. Then to the other half of our batter, we're gonna add our cocoa powder and also gonna start adding milk. You might notice you will need a little bit more milk for this dough because we added 2 more spoons of the powder in our batter. So you might need not 3 tablespoons, but maybe 5 tablespoons of milk. But look for the right consistency again. Your batter has to be glossy and it has to drop. You need to butter your pudding bowl very generously and make sure you get into all little cracks. And then we're gonna transfer our dough with the dark dough first, and then we're gonna place our white dough on top of it. And our pudding is getting ready to be steamed. We are gonna close the lid tightly and put it in a large pot and fill it up halfway with the hot boiling water. And we're gonna let it steam for 2 hours. In the meantime, let's make our cherry sauce. We're gonna need 2 cups of frozen cherries, a half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour, and this is optional. I'm gonna add 5 tablespoons of amaretto liqueur. Put your frozen cherries in the saucepan, add your sugar and add your tapioca flour, mix it slightly, and wait for it to create some moisture. And as your cherries will start to boil, we're gonna add our amaretto liqueur in it, mix it, and cook it for maybe a couple more minutes, and then you will see your sauce will become very glossy. And it's ready. As your pudding starts to boil, just make sure you add more water. And if your pudding bowl starts to float, just weight it down with something. And after 2 hours, your pudding is ready. We're just gonna take it out and let it cool slightly so we can unmold it. To unmold your pudding, release your lid open it, and then we're gonna put it on the platter. And as you guys gonna see how beautiful this pudding is. It is very nicely done. It's absolutely delicious. It's very soft. We're gonna cut into it, and you see it cuts like butter. It's very, very soft. It's absolutely just amazing dessert. You have to try it. We're gonna put it on the plate, and of course we're gonna drizzle our cherry sauce on top of it and enjoy it. I hope you guys like this recipe. I encourage you to try it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.